Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CBJ Sports, episode number 3. You can listen to us on Apple Music now, Spotify. We're going to post a YouTube clip every single week, so you can watch on every single platform. This week, we're going to be talking our top 10 mock draft. We're going to talk about March Madness and the National Championship, the NBA and Russell Westbrook, college football, and we're going to have discussion topics at the end. But first, we're going to start off with the NFL guys in the mock draft. Of course, breaking news, Sam Darnold got traded to the Panthers for a 4th and 2nd round pick today. So my Panthers got a little bit better. They finally got a quarterback, and that means the 8th pick in the draft probably won't be a quarterback. And that also means that the Jets will be taking a quarterback with Zach Wilson and all those guys on the board. I think we can all agree, number 1 in the mock draft.
We're starting with you.
Trey Lance. Oh,
the wrong TR, but Trevor Lawrence, number 1. We can all agree on that, right?
Yep.
Number 2, I'm going to start it off.
Okay.
I think the Jets, they're going to look at quarterback, and I think too much has been on Zach Wilson with the Jets. I think it's too much controversy. I think Salah's been big on Zach Wilson, and I don't love the pick, honestly, because I don't think he has weapons, but I think Zach Wilson's going to be the pick there for the Jets.
Oh, it's definitely the pick. It's what they did to Sam Darnold about 4 years ago. So, I mean, while I do think arm-wise, Zach Wilson is a little more talented, but, it's definitely the pick at 2. I can't see it being anybody else.
I'll go 3. I think.
Say your 2.
Well, we all probably have Zach Wilson.
We don't have
2,
Zach
right?
Wilson, so.
We're all saying our 2s.
Did you have Zach
I
Wilson?
thought we're going one at a time.
No, we're all one at a time for the pick.
No, I thought we're going like you're do 2. I'll do 3. He does 4.
No. Quit the cap.
Do you have Zach Wilson at 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all in agreement at 2. 3, the 49ers. They traded up. There's controversy, but more likely they're taking quarterback. Jimmy G's probably out of San Francisco. I have them taking Justin Fields. They're big on Mac Jones. I think Justin Fields is the better quarterback. He proved it in the playoffs. He's a proven guy. He can do it both, dual threat. I think he fits in and makes the 49ers better than they are.
I do think at 3 it will be Justin Fields, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Trey Lance go off the board there either, because they're in the perfect position where they can let a quarterback sit for a year or 2 if they want to, because they got Jimmy G, got Nick Mullins, who played great in that system, and they wanted to sit there and wait a year or 2 with Trey Lance. I wouldn't be surprised.
I see them getting rid of Jimmy G, maybe getting something out of it, and then I think they go Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones would fit perfect inside that system.
He did have a good pro day.
I have Mac Jones at 3. I think people are just overlooking him, what he did in college football.
Oh, I agree. I just can't.
I just don't think trending up for 3.
Yeah, I don't think 3.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, but I know, but they might think
that's
he's going
what I said.
earlier. They might think they're going to go before
crazy.
what they had.
Call me insane, but that's very reminiscent of Chicago Bears and Trubisky.
That's such a weird
where
thing.
a one stud-like year can vault you all the way into the top 5. And
Yeah. I hate taking Alabama quarterbacks. I don't think it's the right move, but I think Trey Lance wouldn't be bad, but I think Mac Jones would be better.
Moving on to 4, this is where you kind of get into controversy of if they're taking quarterbacks, wide receivers, offensive tackles that are on the board. Trade-ups could happen with a 4 through 8 as the Panthers got quarterback. 4 with the Falcons. I haven't taken Penei Sewell, the best tackle in the draft, the most upside. He's young, he's talented, he's big. He can be the franchise guy at tackle. Of course, the Rashawn Slater is really good, but I think Sewell's the best on the board. Even once you get to 2, I think Zach Wilson's the only one better in this draft than Penei Sewell. He's a franchise guy. I think the Falcons need that if they're going to run with Matt Ryan one more year. He needs protection. That's the only reason I haven't taken Sewell.
I think I have Justin Fields because I know it's a little bit of a weird situation, but how many times do you get to pick top 5 in the draft? And
How many of those work, actually?
What?
How many of the top 5 guys pan out?
That's a great question.
That work lineman.
But I think when you can't cut Matt Ryan this year because of salary issues, but next year you can relieve, I think it's $14 million by cutting Matt Ryan. You still get weapons there. You build around the team still. You still got young players all around.
Good guys in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I mean, I just with them actually getting the pick in the top 5, I just don't see how they don't go in such a quarterback-heavy class.
See, I think with Atlanta, they've been all the losing games in like the fourth quarter, all the comebacks against them. I think they're one now. I don't think they're wanting next year. I don't think so. I don't think they go quarterback. I think they go Panay Sewell, help with that O-line. You got Matt Ryan, who didn't have a bad year. They got a new coach, so I think they try to go with the O-line.
I think they go Kyle Pitts. You give him Matt Ryan more weapons, and with Calvin Ridley and Julio, but Julio's always hurt usually. He's always got turf toe or something. But you can always take Kyle Trask late second round or early second round.
A little cheap shot at Julio Jones. I like it. Number 5.
Well, he's always hurt.
Yeah, 1 touchdown to week 8 is usually always hurt. Number 5, the Bengals. We're very debatable all day about this pick. The Bengals, they take a tackle, they take a wide receiver. Does Kyle Pitts go here? Of course, he does. Already got him off the board. But number 5, I have him taking Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow's already told the franchise he wants help. He's given the name Jamar Chase to the owner of the team, the GM. He's throwing his name out there. I think they're going to listen to Joe Burrow, the young guy who's leading the team, coming back from an ACL injury. They're going to give him Jamar Chase, and that's going to give him another weapon other than T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. They lost A.J. Green. I don't see him taking an offensive lineman here. I just think there's too many good wide receivers this high to pass on one.
Well, I'm going O-line. I'm going Panay Sewell here because when you say you need help, I think, you need help from tearing your ACL again. You need somebody that can protect you for more than 0.5 seconds.
But losing A.J. Green just makes it more that you need a receiver.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
if
A.J.
you
Green
go back
hasn't been
if you go
good
back to
for
the
how many
Eagles
years?
game, Malik Jackson about killed Joe Burrow. That blindside hit he had on him.
And not to mention, Joe Burrow played in, half the season and led all rookies in fumbles?
Yeah.
I had Panay Sewell going to Atlanta, so I have them taking Rashawn Slater. Help Joe Burrow out. Receivers are going to get open. They're going to get open. They have Boyd. They have Higgins. So I think if you give Burrow a little bit more time, it gives the receivers more time to get open. I think that's more important than just having that third receiver.
Yeah, I think
I
think an O tackle is better than a third receiver at this point, especially when he's so young. You don't want to. What happens? He tears another ACL because he didn't have that protection.
Yeah, so that's why I think these picks are so iffy. It's if they take a wide receiver, if they take a tackle. Moving on to number 6, Billy and the Dolphins. I have them taking Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. I've told you a lot this week. They need a wide receiver. I think they take a wide receiver. But Rashawn Slater is just as good, if not better, than Panay Sewell. And if Jamar Chase is already off the board, I think the Dolphins wanted Jamar Chase if they were going to take a wide receiver. And if I have him off the board going to the Bengals, I think they're going to hold off. Try to get one later in the second, third round with guys like Kadarius Toney, Shi Smith, Amari Rodgers later in the draft. They beef up the O-line and take a guy that's pro-ready, and Northwestern's offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater.
I can't see O-line here for a couple reasons. One is you just invested a first-round pick into a left tackle last year who played average. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. I mean, it's not what's the dude? They got absolutely – was it Tristan Wirfs? No. Is that what was the one that was so – yeah, who's the one that was so bad last year?
Ola?
He graded all 4.
Tristan Wirfs was just bad in college.
There was one that graded all
Tristan
4.
Wirfs had a really good year.
Was a top pick, but getting to the point is Tua needs help, and that comes in the form of a receiver that can get separation. And it's between Devontae Parker, who's not a separation receiver. He's a get deep, beat them one-on-one coverage. And then outside of that, you have Albert Wilson, Alan Hearns, and Preston Williams. I think it has to be Jamar Chase here. I can't see it going any other way.
That's who I would have going to the Dolphins if I didn't have him off the board.
So you had him off the board.
Yeah,
I didn't have him off the board.
That's the only reason I don't have the Dolphins taking Jamar Chase.
Since I don't have him off the board yet, I go Jamar Chase to Miami.
Yeah, I have Jamar Chase. Just give Tua more weapons so he can.
I think he's the best available at that point.
Yeah, I think
Jamar
Jamar Chase is going to Miami if he's there.
I know you don't like it because I've said this earlier, but if Jamar Chase for a reason isn't there, I could definitely see Kyle Pitts being a Dolphin. As much as you don't like to hear it,
I hate that.
we run our receivers in the slots. We run our Mike Gesicki played 70% of the snaps in the slot last year.
Oh, I know.
I just don't like putting Gesicki as a blocking. But that's the thing about having 2 tight ends. You need one of them to be a good blocker. Kyle Pitts is not that great.
And that is the one thing though. Kyle Pitts can play outside. He's not just a tight end.
Moving on to 7, I have the Lions beefing up the wide receiving core. They just got Jared Goff. He needs weapons. They lost Kenny Galladay. Did Marvin Jones leave, I think, also?
Yeah, they're one's in New York and one's in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Marvin Jones left. They need a guy at wide receiver. This is where I think Devontae Smith falls. as a lot of people had him going a little bit higher. He's one of the best route runners in the class. He catches everything thrown at him. He's a Heisman wide receiver that's going to fall behind Jamar Chase. I think he could be taken ahead of him, but if the Dolphins or Bengals take him, I have Devontae Smith falling to Detroit.
Yeah, no, I agree there. At that point, I think it comes down to
he's the best on the board.
Yeah, exactly. He's the best player available, and there are other positions that they need filled, but
it's in rebuild.
Danny
it's in rebuild. Go ahead and get the best player available, and
it's rebuild mode in Detroit.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I don't think Devontae is bad at all, but I think I go Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith. I like Jalen Waddle a lot. I think he could be really good in the NFL.
And I think
He's
real
bigger,
quick, before
faster,
to cut you off, but I think if Jalen Waddle never got hurt this past season, he would have been a higher pick anyways.
He might have won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him taking Devontae Smith. I just don't think they're going to roll in this season with Danny Amendola by himself.
I think it's just a rebuild, best guy on the board kind of pick. Moving on to my pick, the Panthers. Today was a big day if you're listening later on in the week. Today is Monday, and we were on the golf course today, and I got news that Sam Darnold had been traded to be a Panther, and I thought instantly, did we give away the 8th pick? We didn't. So we get to take a guy who can help out. Matt Rule's already said it's going to be an offensive-minded draft. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be able to fall to us. I don't think any of the teams above us need a tight end that bad, and Kyle Pitts might be a generational type guy at tight end, a Travis Kelce, a George Kittle. He can go one-on-one. He can play receiver, be in the slot. He's not that great of a blocker, but he can get down and block. We also have Ian Thomas, but I think Kyle Pitts out of Florida is the guy to give Sam Darnold another weapon that he doesn't have at tight end.
I think for me, it came down to two. It was between Kyle Pitts and, Brain? Who'd you just say?
Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith?
No, on the offense. Oh, Kyle Pitts or Patrick Surtain. Man,
I did look at corners, but
I think it comes down to what, for me at least, it comes down to what Matt Rule said last year. Last year he said he wanted to invest the draft into defense.
this year's offense.
And he said this year's offense. So, I mean, stick to what you said at first, and I think Kyle Pitts goes here.
Yeah, I think there's one. I think it was a stat for pretty long in that season about a tight end for Carolina not having a touchdown.
Yeah, Ian Thomas did not catch passes.
So I think they definitely go Kyle Pitts here. They definitely need a tight end. And I think that Kyle Pitts will definitely brings that Carolina offense
I think
pretty high.
Before you say anything to that, taking Kyle Pitts, I think, completes that offense.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
have a quarterback now, a running back, 3 wide receivers,
Taylor Moton's
and
bad.
Kyle Pitts.
So the O-line's not bad.
Yeah.
So Kyle Pitts definitely takes the offense to set that final puzzle piece. I think you see him maybe top 5 offense this year, maybe.
I got him taking Patrick Surtain because I feel like y'all need like that lockdown corner. I know you have what's his name, Devontae Jackson. Dante Jackson.
Cornell.
I don't know. He's good, but
I think that's if Kyle Pitts isn't on the board. I think.
Yeah, I have him going to Atlanta
because there's not another receiver that.
Which I don't think y'all need a receiver. Y'all need
I don't think they take
a
a receiver if Kyle Pitts is on the board. I think they go corner.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 9. I think I think he's top 3 player in the draft. I know I said that about, who was it, Rashawn Slater. I think Micah Parsons is the best linebacker to come out of the draft in a very long time. He's a side-to-side guy. He's Luke Kuechly of that Penn State defense all year long. Micah Parsons, I think he's what people wanted Isaiah Simmons to be last year. He's a guy that can play nickel. He can line up on the inside, line up outside linebacker and rush the quarterback, playing coverage, man or zone. I think Michael Parsons makes that Broncos defense a little bit better. I know the offense needs a lot of help, but they don't need a piece guy on the offense right now. I think Micah Parsons finishes that linebacking core and helps the Broncos out a little bit more as they're rebuilding.
I agree. I think the only thing that holds Parsons back in any type of way is the off-field issues that he kind of went through in his time at Penn State. But athletically and raw gifted talent, you won't find another linebacker that can play the position.
I haven't seen one in a past draft like Micah Parsons.
No, he's the most. I mean, he can, like you said, he can play nickel. He can be in the middle if you need him. I mean, he can literally. He's not. I wouldn't say he's elite in anything, but he's good in everything, and that's what makes him so unique. Is he can do so much in any style or any system in a defense.
Yeah, that's where I got him going. He just fit right in with that defense with Von Miller and all them.
Yeah, I think they need another linebacker.
I got them taking Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. I think he will be the final piece to that secondary. Then you got Kyle Fuller coming in. You signed Simmons back. I think Caleb Farley is going to complete that secondary.
I think that's why I didn't have them taking a corner. I think if they didn't pick up Kyle Fuller, I think I would have had them taking a corner. But after getting Kyle Fuller, I think they focused more on the interior of the defense, the front seven.
Now, if they really wanted to win a game, you would draft Farley.
Yeah. Moving on. We've named corners so far, but I have my first corner off the board, and maybe it's a little biasy, but he's the best man corner on the board. And the Cowboys, I have him taking J.C. Horn out of Carolina. If anyone, me and Billy watch every Carolina game all year long, and there's not a lot of highlights of that team, but J.C. Horn is one of them. Seth Williams against Auburn. He man on man against him all game long, had 2 picks, I think a pick 6. He won 3 or 4 games for the Gamecocks all year long, took over on defense. He's long, he's lengthy, he's aggressive. He's Stephon Gilmore build out of Carolina. I think wherever he goes, he's going to help instantly and be the number 1 guy, but the Cowboys need that. Losing Byron Jones, all those guys in the last few years, the Cowboys need another lockdown corner, and J.C. Horn's a cheap one. You can get at 10.
I think Cowboys definitely have to go secondary. So because I got Farley going off the board. I like Horn, but I think they go Patrick Surtain. I think he's the next available to me.
And I think with corners, it all comes down to the system.
What system you run?
Yeah.
Are you a zone or are you a man? And aren't the Cowboys a little mixed?
Yeah, they ran both.
I feel like they ran more zone, but I could be wrong.
No, they did because Byron Jones was there.
So for that reason, I think I have more Surtain than – I love J.C. Horn. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the elite players come through Carolina on the defensive side of the ball in a couple of years. But I think it's Surtain. He fits into that system well. He's a kind of like what I said with Parsons. He's not the greatest man, greatest zone, but he's just good. He's good at everything he does, and I think
He's taller, he's lengthier, I think a little bit more than Horn.
I got him taking J.C. Horn. Like you said earlier, he said, he's just like Gilmore. He's going to make you work for your yards. He's aggressive.
I think we all said corners, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're definitely they're going to go in that secondary. All of those guys, if they're on the board, they're good for that team.
I think all 3 corners will go within about 6 picks of each other.
Yeah, 16 through 10, I think all.
Yeah. You'll see Farley, Surtain, and Horn all off the board. So.
Yeah. That will wrap up our top 10 of the mock draft as we move on to later on in the draft, guys like Dak Prescott, who got taken, the 5th round? Tom Brady in the 6th. A guy late at quarterback who can be a guy that sits back, someone maybe gets hurt, they come in, they're an instant star. A guy that get a contract in 3 years. To me, I was going to go Kyle Trask, but I wanted to go a little bit farther. I think Kellen Mond slips a little bit farther down the board. And Kellen Mond's a guy like Dak Prescott. He played in the SEC for 4 years. He was a senior at Texas A&M. He won the big games. He beat Bama. That team hasn't been the greatest after Johnny Manziel left. Of course, Jimbo Fisher came in and got recruits. But Kellen Mond's been the guy to keep Texas A&M above water. And I think any team that gets him, he's going to be a dual-threat guy to come in and help. CJ?
I got him taking Mon, too. I think I could see, Denver or somebody taking him late round. But, every year, he's got good size. Was he, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah.
He just gets better and better every year.
He's not that bad of a passer.
Yeah.
No, he's very smart with the ball, and it's who I wanted to go. But it's English. It's without a doubt where I wanted to go with it. Kellen Mond is one of the smartest QBs IQ wise. He knows when he needs to take off and get 5 yards and slide. He knows. He's one of the only quarterbacks that will probably tell you the coverage that the defense is running before the play.
He's a Jimbo Fisher guy.
He's just super smart with the ball. IQ wise, you can't go wrong. And if he gets slid into a spot, it's almost like what everybody expected Gardner Minshew to do when he came into that role is what Kellen Mond would do. And I love Gardner Minshew, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I'm going to go way deep in the draft. If even drafted, I think KJ Costello. I think he definitely got to sit a couple years and maybe gets a shot off an injury or something, has a good game like Brock Osweiler did, he gets a contract.
the game I watched, Cage Costello game 1. He broke the SEC passing record, went crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, picks. Heisman. Next week, throws like 6 picks. I was like, okay, Mike Leach found him a gem right there. Moving on to free agency a little bit more. Passing the free agency, the Panthers made a lot of moves on defense. But biggest free agent pickup that we've seen. All our teams made big pickups, Dolphins, Bills, Panthers. But to me, I think the Pats made the most moves, and the big one was Matthew Judon. He's a guy that, like we talked about Micah Parsons, he can play everywhere in the interior front 7. He can put his hand down. He can play coverage. He can go get the quarterback. I think Matthew Judon takes that defense to the Pats defense that we all know that's elite. And,
yeah, it's already been elite.
Yeah, I think Matthew Judon takes him to that next step. I think that's why he's my biggest pickup.
So I don't think Judon would be my personal best pickup just because that defense is already – it's there. It's Bill Belichick. That defense is there. That's why being today, I think Sam Darnold is the best free agent pickup now. Would you consider that free agent? Oh, no, it's considered a trade.
Yeah, it's a trade.
But they're in free agency.
I like it. It kind of counts.
Kind of counts.
I'll give
well,
it
if we're
to
counting trades, I think Sam Darnold would definitely be the best.
I got Carson Wentz going to the Colts. I mean,
that's underrated. I think that's very underrated because
he was traded too, technically.
Yeah, he was traded.
I think it's just underrated because everyone kind of
traded him.
They traded him.
Well, everyone kind of like gave up on Carson Wentz. It's like
I know, but
everyone's definitely giving up.
The Colts are already a good team. The defense is there, running backs, receivers. I mean,
it's just now
they got a really good O line.
It's kind of like how we said on the golf course about Sam Darnold. There's no more excuses.
Oh yeah,
it's Carson Wentz's time to prove himself, just like Sam Darnold. You prove it or you lose it. You lose your career in the NFL or you keep it. You have 1 year to do it, and I think that's Carson Wentz's situation.
I think that's a perfect situation for him because look what Philip Rivers did with that team. Philip Rivers that was his last year. He was the end of his career. I don't think he was doing too much, but Carson Wentz comes in. He can do more than Philip Rivers. No. So if he has a comeback year, it's going to be one crazy comeback year.
And he's back with Frank Reich is when he almost won MVP if he didn't get hurt that year. That was his offensive coordinator.
Mine, I'll probably give it to the Broncos and Kyle Fuller. I mean, released not even 20 minutes later, signed. I mean, he's always been an all-pro cornerback. I mean, he's really good at what he does. And I think for a small one that not a lot of people are talking about that I think could really work out is Sammy Watkins to the Ravens. I think they need
that.
They need, And because he was always kind of hidden back there in the Chiefs' offense. But the dude's
guy that can beat.
And he's talented enough to be a number 2, borderline number 1 when he's
healthy.
I say, is he a number 1 receiver? Though?
Healthy is the key.
Yeah, if he's healthy.
You want to talk about turf toe?
He owns it.
So I mean, it just comes down. I'm gonna go with Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, I like that. I like all those picks. I was on Twitter this week and I saw a tweet that said, "Where's Josh Rosen now?" And I was like, I could not tell you where Josh Rosen is. He's somewhere on a roster, but
Bucks.
It made me think about. He is on the Bucks.
Yeah.
It made me think about this draft class and guys that could be busting. We were making jokes. T-Lock could be a bust or whatever. And I was just thinking, who in this class out of that class, Allen, Lamar, Rosen, Darnold, Baker, it was Josh Rosen that kind of like was the castaway of the group, disappeared. This class, there's a lot of good quarterbacks, but to me, I think Zach Wilson gets thrown under the bus here because he gets drafted by the Jets. We all thought Trevor Lawrence would get drafted by the Jets. We're like, oh no, his career's over. Why are people not still saying that? Zach Wilson's career could be over in 2 years because he's going to come in. He's going to be shoved into the starting role because Sam Darnold's gone, and he's going to have Corey Davis to throw to, as we talked about last podcast. No one else. The offensive line isn't that great. The defense still isn't good. And, I mean, you have a new coach, but Zach Wilson didn't prove anything at BYU that he's that guy. Yeah, he can throw 80 yards downfield. Josh Allen didn't look like an MVP in his first year.
No.
But do the Jets have patience to work with Zach Wilson? I don't think so. That's why I think he's going to be cast away.
A lot of quarterbacks' careers are definitely based off their first 2 years. It's not only just even like they say they go to a different team. It's not only based off the talent they go on the second team. It's just how they're kind of built now around the NFL. So like Tom Brady's a perfect example. That first quarterback taken in his draft, he came into the Niners, but he was scared. He came in, took a lot of hits. They didn't really have an O-line at the time. Tom Brady came in, had a phenomenal year. When he did come in and play, had a phenomenal year. Started his career off right, and look where he's at now. Yeah, so I think Zach Wilson's going to come in on the Jets. Not really. That team's not there. So I think he comes in, doesn't have a great 2 years, and falls off to be like Josh Rosen. Yeah.
I think for me, it's more of a depending factor. I'm going to go with Trey Lance. Only for the reason of he's kind of in that limbo stage where we don't know if he could go at 3 or if he could go at 15.
I think he's a project guy, though. I think he's going to get a chance to sit back.
Yeah, but Trey Lance is definitely a guy that sits back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's kind of in limbo where he's at because he could get taken by a team that can sit him. Or he's going to get taken by a team where they do the whole, we're going to let him sit for a year, and 4 games in, he's your starting quarterback. Kind of just thrown into a situation.
Before CJ goes, I think why Zach Wilson's more Rosen than Trey Lance is we know right now that Zach Wilson's going to be the starter for the Jets week 1 if he's drafted.
Right.
Zach Wilson.
And that's what I'm saying. This is depending.
There's no, we know, Trey Lance, everyone in this class, everyone knows, even if Trey Lance is taking 3, Jimmy G's there. They're not going to trade him. He's going to get to sit back and he's going to get to learn.
So I'm saying it's just kind of like a pending. Yeah. It depends who takes them and how they develop them. It's good to
Zach Wilson's going to have to prove to us that he is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I have Trey Lance. Most of the people probably didn't even know who it was coming out of college. I don't know who he played. I don't know. I just didn't hear a lot about him when he was coming out of
Trey
college.
Lance could disappear. I think that's a good name because nobody knew who he was. But I think he wins the debate because he gets time to learn.
Yeah, there's no way, no team. I don't think
get time to learn anything.
My opinion,
starter.
My opinion is, Trey Lance is not getting drafted as a starting QB right off the bat. At least that's my opinion. I don't think he's going to, but Zach Wilson's definitely, all right, you're a starting QB. Here you go on a team that's
whoever picks Trey Lance this year will be identical to Jordan Love last year.
Yeah, he's not playing.
And then again, it could be 5 more years before we get to see Jordan Love even start a game. And at that point, who knows? He probably doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, I think Jordan Love definitely is going to disappear.
He could be the Rosen. Yeah, he could be the Rosen of that draft.
Brett Favre's laughing right now.
Yeah, you got Aaron Rodgers there now. But that O-line is what makes Aaron Rodgers. That O-line is what makes Aaron Rodgers. So whenever Aaron Rodgers leaves, is that O-line still going to be there? If it's not, Jordan Love might not be there.
Speaking of the 2018 class with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, those guys, Baker Mayfield. Seen a bunch of stuff on Twitter all throughout the year. Baker Mayfield's not good. He's not proven yet. He can't win big games. Baker Mayfield, he just got his first playoff appearance. But he did it with the Browns, a team that everyone was – it was a laughing stock for the last decade. Baker Mayfield took that team. They got weapons. He took them to the playoffs without Odell. And he played really, really good in his first game. Is Baker Mayfield average or is he elite? I know all you guys know, but people out there that don't know, I really think Baker Mayfield's elite. I think he's got that dog in him like Drew Brees. He's got the X factor about him. He's just that guy when he steps onto the field. At Oklahoma, he waved the flag, stabbed into the O at Ohio State. It's just how can you not like this guy? If you're playing him, it's
Yeah, I think his personality is elite. I'll give him that.
I was about to say.
Well, I think
he comes out there and it's he doesn't have Odell this week. Oh, they're going to lose by 30, and he takes Rashard Higgins and wins football games.
All right, real quick. Go. I want somebody that disagrees to talk first, so I can talk.
Right.
I'll go.
I got you right here. You got to think. We thought Steelers were elite.
I just can't believe you're actually disagreeing.
No, I thought Steelers. We all thought Steelers were elite.
Yes.
12-0, and then we go. Well, let's look at that schedule. And then it's wow. Then you look. Oh, Browns had the same schedule. So and then the one game they win in the playoffs, it was against who? Steelers, who also has the same schedule. So I don't think he's not elite. He's not there yet. Can he be there? Maybe, but I don't think he's elite.
No,
his personality, I'll give you that, is elite. I love that.
I think he's average. He's just not consistent enough, and
I'll give him above average.
They got a good O-line, and when you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield, and they rush for 100 yards both a game, that helps a lot.
I'll give him above average.
And that defense.
I would not give
Billy, you go, bro.
Does anybody remember the first words that Baker Mayfield said when he got drafted in that year?
I want to leave. No, I'm kidding.
His first words is, I'm going to turn this franchise around. And whether they have gotten more talent since then, and yes, they have gotten a bunch, just all around a better team. But I'll be crazy not to say that Baker Mayfield has not turned that team around. He is Yeah, he started out, but like I said earlier, it's hard to judge a quarterback off their first couple years in the league.
Yeah.
I think that second half of last season proved to me enough that if he's not elite, he's right on that border of it. He is a good quarterback that I think will be in this league for a long time.
Yeah, so that's where I had him, like, if there was average and elite, I think he's in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's just
I think
an
he's on
average
the upper
quarterback.
half.
I just don't think he's
he's
there
on the upper half.
Yeah.
I don't think he's just elite yet.
I think which it also comes down to system. There are average quarterbacks that look like superstars.
I just want to. I saw a tweet, and it was Josh Allen's first playoff start, Lamar's first playoff start, Baker's first playoff start. I think Lamar and Josh Allen both had like 150 yards, 2 picks, or something like that.
No,
Yes, Baker Mayfield's was later. He had to wait one more year to make the playoffs.
Josh Allen had like 270 because they went OT.
We'll search that in a minute.
I
Because
thought.
know
I could
that's
be
a
wrong.
lie.
I could be wrong.
I swear I saw.
What was
a
that,
tweet.
2019?
It was the first playoff game for.
There's 19. We played Houston.
Texans.
Who's your quarterback? Oh,
Josh
Nathan
Allen.
Peterman. Never mind. I was thinking when y'all played Jacksonville.
That was
Peterman.
That was 3 years
Tyrod
ago, man.
got hurt. Peterman came
Yeah.
in.
But Baker Mayfield had a really good first playoff game against the Steelers. 248, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, led his team to win.
I think Baker's one of those guys that you won't hear much from the season, but when it comes time to be clutch and enter into that zone,
That's one of the points, though. We talked about his personality. How he said we didn't hear a word out of the Browns when they were 1-4. Oh, they started really bad, and Baker said, "It's on me. I'll take responsibility. We're gonna turn it around. We're gonna make the playoffs." And he, like Billy said, he turned it around. They went to the playoffs and beat one of the best teams in
they
football.
lost to the Ravens week 1, 38-6.
Yeah, they look terrible. Odell tears his ACL, and it's like, oh, this team's done. We're cashed off. The ship's gone. The Browns are the Browns again. And Baker's like, no, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. No one ever thought Baker Mayfield would throw 8 picks in a season. Let's just throw that out there. He didn't play that good at Oklahoma. He wasn't that accurate at Oklahoma, and I think he's filling into that role. And now he gets Odell back for another year.
I think they get rid of him.
Okay, that's another conversation for
It's another
day.
conversation, but I think they get rid of him.
I think they get rid of Baker.
No, stop talking.
Yeah.
Josh McCown,
No,
come here.
cut him
Josh,
off.
head coach.
He's still in the league, isn't he?
Oh yeah, isn't
No,
he?
sir.
He's a coach
Stop.
in Philly,
No,
isn't
we're
he?
not talking
Oh, no, he
anymore.
was actually rumored to become the Texans head coach for a while.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
No more talking.
We're talking about Josh McCown.
Oh, we're playing the silent game now?
Yeah, shh. Okay, March Madness. We saw Jalen Suggs' shot. Gonzaga beat. Oh my mind just blanked.
Huh? UCLA.
Here, I'll go and do
UCLA.
it for you. Gonzaga by 8.
Baylor beat Houston. National championship picks and winner. To me, I think Gonzaga is the best team on the court. Jalen Suggs is the best player in college basketball. He's number 1, number 2 pick. Cade Cunningham will fight for that. But I think Gonzaga and Jalen Suggs is a lot better than Baylor. I think Gonzaga wins by a lot.
I'm going to take Gonzaga by 8. And Jalen Suggs will have 27 points on the dot. Calling it
27?
right now. 27. He's going to go off. He's going to take over the game.
It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very fun game to watch. But I think I'm going to go Baylor just because number 24 with the mullet, dude. That's how close the game's going to be. That's how close the game's going to be. I'm going because he's got a
Gonzaga
mullet.
better guard that dude. That dude can shoot. Which I got Gonzaga winning by double digits. I don't know
Whoa.
how much.
Kispert, Timmy, I
But-
think it's too much.
Yeah. It's
That
I don't
team
know.
is so good.
Like I was
That's
watching
good.
the game the other
it's
night.
not
It's
just
just
Jalen Suggs.
like, bro, they'd make like 6 passes, easy layup. It's like
it's just like
they just know how to.
it's so bad that sometimes I think Jalen Suggs is Andrew Nembhard. Like in my on my Snapchat story, yeah, I think y'all saw. I recorded the game-winning shot. I was like, Andrew Nembhard for 3, and it was Jalen Suggs the whole time. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, that's how good that team is. That I think that Jalen Suggs is Andrew Nembhard.
Just a little quick sidebar. Did y'all see the clips of Jalen Suggs in high school playing football?
Playing football.
Yeah.
He could have
He
been
was a
Ohio State
4-star
playing
recruit.
quarterback.
Quarterback.
I mean, just unreal. That kid is
Yeah, Jalen Suggs is for
kid's
real.
special.
Moving on to the NBA, a topic that we talked on the golf course. The first topic is Russell Westbrook. He had a crazy game the other night. It's like 44, 15, and 21. Led the Wizards to a win. The Wizards are hot lately with him and Brad Beal. Russell Westbrook is the most consistent he's ever been in his career this year. And before I say the topic discussion, I want to put it out there that all of you know this. A lot of people listening. I am the biggest of haters of Russell Westbrook. I've been on his back his entire career. I think he was a terrible point guard in Oklahoma City. He ruined KD's time in Oklahoma City. But I think he's really changed a lot in Washington and been a team guy. And the question is Russell Westbrook a top 3-point guard in the league? And 2 for sure that I put down first was Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. And those are guys that are generational guys. Kyrie Irving's the best dribbler I've ever seen play basketball, and Steph Curry's the best shooter to ever play basketball. And the third name that I thought about a lot, and I mean sat there and searched stats and watched playoff games, and I couldn't put him over Russell Westbrook. And his name's Damian Lillard. It's Dame time all the time, but he doesn't show up when it's Western Conference Finals time or any time else. Russell Westbrook took his team to the finals. Yes, he had Kevin Durant, but they were both young, and Russell Westbrook did just as much as KD on that team. Russell Westbrook did enough in Houston. He was very inconsistent, and I state that with a heavy heart. But in Washington, he's consistent. He shoots well. He's a team guy. He makes everyone on the court better. He gets Brad Beal open. That team's turning it around, and I think Russell Westbrook is the main part about it. That's why I have to put him at 3 in the NBA. He's the 3rd best point guard in the league.
Can I go?
Oh, no. Can I just say one word?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Number 1, I think. No. All right. I got Curry at 1, and then Kyrie at 2, and then I guess we're just forgetting about Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic. Thank you.
Point guard.
He does play
You do
point.
not put
Luka
Russell
is a
over
generational type player. This dude is for
Luka
real.
averages the same stats.
Yeah,
is
he averaged a
Russell.
triple-double last year. I think he's
doing it right
close
now.
to
I
it.
think he's
Yeah,
he's
he's
right on the
close.
cusp of it.
The reasoning behind Russell over Luka. Luka has the stats to be compared to Russell Westbrook. He's not as athletic as Russell Westbrook. He can't get to the rim like Russell Westbrook. And he's shooting just as bad, if worse, way worse from 3 as Russell Westbrook. He's shooting the worst in his career right now from 3. And Russell Westbrook is being the most consistent he's ever been. That's why I'm talking right now.
That's just the way they play, though. It's not comparing, who can dunk or who can get to the rim. That's just how they play, but they're still averaging about the same points.
Okay.
I know that, but it don't, driving to the hoop's not going to make you, we're winning now.
When I need a guy right now, and I'm taking top 3 point guards in the league, I'm not taking Luka Doncic over Russell Westbrook in a one-on-one.
Quick question. Are we talking about people that are labeled as point guards or people who play?
No, right now.
LeBron James is not a point guard. Let's get that out of the way. He's a small forward.
Luka's a point guard. He came into the league playing point guard.
Yeah, I'll give you Luka because he brings the ball up the court. He does
Every possession.
He's the point guard of that team. And I'm not giving you Joker either. He's a center.
No, but who's been playing the point guard of the Lakers all year?
LeBron, but it's Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, but LeBron still is the main.
LeBron is not the point guard.
Who takes the ball up the court?
Dennis Schroeder for half the possessions of the game.
It's Cap.
Hey, no, I'll give Billy this. In 2K, he's labeled as a point guard. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Let's focus on Russell Westbrook.
2K's legit.
I want more reasoning.
All right,
because if I'm getting Luka Doncic, I'm taking Russell Westbrook over him every day because Russell Westbrook's driving past anyone and dunking on them.
And still losing.
And he can shoot just as good.
Still losing.
He's just stat pattern. I don't like him.
So we're blaming the team for top 3 point guards in the league right now?
He cares too much about stats.
You can't sit here and tell me that the Wizards are miles worse than the Mavericks are.
See, your reasoning is based on Russell Westbrook's past. CJ just said he's your stat pattern.
Yes.
44, 15, and 21 on, I think it was the best he'd ever shot, scoring 40.
That's why he's sweating so much.
Because he's got the team in his duffel bag carried on his back. He's got Brad Beal in the duffel.
I think they both dropped 40 the other night and they lost by 10 plus.
How is this on Russell Westbrook?
But you said I take CP3 over
that's
Westbrook.
Dude, I'm not giving you this.
But
Yes.
if we got to talk,
We're just naming points.
You want to
Are we-
talk? But okay,
no,
let's.
let me talk.
Go ahead.
If we're talking top 3 point guard
right now.
are we talking about if we put him in a 1v1 or we put him in a team situation? Because Luka makes his team better, but Russell puts up crazy
21
stats.
assists is
I know
not
that.
making your team
I know
better?
that.
Yeah,
but
but
Luka.
it's one thing when you get the whole team to drive,
Yeah.
and it's the easiest kick of your life every other possession.
Why would you? I just don't understand.
I think Luka makes his team.
assists. That's
one game, bro.
sometimes what a team gets.
All right,
Yes.
go
All
ahead.
right, James Harden does the same thing.
When?
Hey,
he
James
got
Harden plays
21
point guard.
assists.
James Harden plays point guard.
When does he got
Okay,
21
I'm still not
assists?
putting James Harden.
He
in
just
my
dropped
top 3.
20 the other night. I'm pretty sure he had a career high. It might have been more than 20. He had a career high.
Are we naming James Harden as point guard?
I want to backtrack
No,
for a
I'm
second
not.
real quick. Going back to the whole
He's
Chris
a shooting
Paul
guard. I
thing.
was just saying.
When you talk about a player that makes the entire team better, and he's just invaluable to the team. Chris Paul is the definition of that to the sunset.
I'm not giving you Chris Paul, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
He's
not
right.
writing that one.
He is.
They didn't even make the
I
playoff.
did it.
Okay, time out.
We have to separate conversations because we're talking make team better. We can go.
To me, that's what
We can go to the bottom of the barrel of point guards and making their team better, and they're not as athletic. They can't score with Russell Westbrook.
not being a better point guard is not just on skill.
I'm not saying that.
I know that, but listen.
I'm talking about Russell Westbrook and
We're
Washington.
talking about
We're not
making
talking
the-
about Russell Westbrook
We're talking about-
and Houston.
I'm not
Making the
talking
team better. Phoenix didn't make the playoffs last year. Now CP3 comes in and they're third in the West.
Exactly, yeah.
That just blows my mind.
Their team's also good.
They didn't lose anybody
It's
or
not like Chris
gain
Paul
anybody besides
averages 20,
CP3.
20 and 10. It's
He
not
averages-
all on Chris Paul.
He averages like a double-double, like a 15-10.
Well, clearly
That's
he's doing
enough.
something right to make that team third in the West.
I'm trying to measure. We have to take both in both hands. We can't just pick one and take the other. Russell Westbrook does both.
So I'm saying, if you're talking just pure raw talent, yes, Russell Westbrook. But I think if Russell Westbrook. But if you're talking about team, like he brings chemistry to the team,
But you can't.
Russell
just,
Westbrook
but you're
doesn't
just
bring chemistry.
focusing
Yeah, no.
on that. And
That's why I'm
how
asking.
can we
That's
say
why I
that?
said
Hey,
it.
this year for the Wizards, he's been the leader of that team. Watch the practices, all the posts on Instagram, him talking to the young guys. That's the thing. 21 assists. If that's not making your team better, then what is?
Okay, one question. I have one question, honestly. At the end of the day, what makes a player getting on the fastest other than like what
What'd you
makes
say?
a player I'm trying to word this in a way that I don't sound like an absolute moron, and that clearly failed. But,
It's hard for me because I'm not arguing for Russell Westbrook to be in the MVP conversation because I think he does stat pad a little bit, but I'm not talking about Russell Westbrook in the past. I hated him in the past. I just think he's grown so much as a point guard, and right now there's no one guarding Russell Westbrook. I don't care who you put in front of him. He's getting to the bucket and he's giving me 40.
let's try this question again. Okay, I want to ask this question, but when you're talking about, you said you don't care about him being in the MVP race and all that, but at the end of the day, winning and championships are the main factor. If one player's got all the
It's
stats,
a Tom Brady debate.
if
I'm not.
That's why I think you were correct earlier. There's two different
Yeah,
sides to his
and we
argument.
can't just look
And
at
that's why I think
one.
if we're going chemistry-wise, you're going Luka. If you're going raw talent, you're going Russell.
But I think that's why we have to bring them together. If that's the thing, if we're going with talent, Russell Westbrook blows everyone out of the water. That's why I think he's a little. That's why I don't think the gap is big between 3 and 4. I think Russell Westbrook is. The camera can see this close to 4. I'm not saying Russell Westbrook.
think-
Man, there's 3
I'll give you,
and
I'll
then the
give
rest
you
of the
that.
field.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not like bottom, past 10.
like if there's
he's right
3
there.
and 4,
but
real.
it's
I have-
Russell's right there.
Yeah.
I
I'm
have,
not putting him
I have
top
him
three.
fifth.
At fourth, I got
you
yeah.
got 4.
Wait, what was it?
I have-
Top 3? I have at fifth. I have Westbrook because I have CP at 3 or 4. My bad.
No, see, I'm with you here. I think he's right there, so I put Russell at 4. I wouldn't put him at 5, but I'm still putting Luka over Russell.
Yeah.
I am.
See,
So
I'm
you
taking
have-
Kyrie.
you have Westbrook over Dame.
I said this on the yes, dude. That's
Yeah,
not
I'll
a
take Russell
debate.
over Dame.
I think people overlook Dame.
Dude, we're not getting
Yes.
the whole everyone hates on Dame debate.
I'm just saying.
not-
I'm just
We're
saying.
talking about right now, still. Remember, so I'm
Yeah,
definitely
right.
taking Russell over Dame.
Right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dame MVP race.
Russell's really. I'm not. See, that's where we're still getting off
That's
track.
why
Russell
I think,
is.
I think we're just
I don't
looking
think
at
it's
Russell Westbrook
yeah.
in the wrong view.
Yeah, we're
Because
definitely
I
looking
had
at
that.
Russell.
I had that view of, oh my God, Russell
Yeah, I
Westbrook's
hate
so
Russell.
bad.
I hate
He's
Russell.
so bad.
Don't get me wrong. I
But
really
he's
like
such
Russell.
a different point guard this year. Like this is the most
Right now, he is.
efficient Russell Westbrook has ever been, and it's like that's why I wanted everyone to come in with a view of Wizards Westbrook, not Houston Westbrook.
I like Westbrook. It's just I don't.
No, he's
Now, see, like, I've
he's the
always
same
hated
as he was in
He's the most
OKC.
athletic-
Literally the same. He's the same as
Dude,
he was in
no point guard
OKC.
is built like that.
Houston, I didn't.
Yeah, that
James
throw him
Harden
under
step
the
back
bus.
3. There you go.
All right, let me.
That's where I
wanna
think-
get out of
I hate to
pain.
make Blake do this. Would you rather have Russell Westbrook right now or MVP season Derrick Rose?
See, that's
Where
that's
you
the
going
same.
there?
See,
I'm
that-
just going there
but
because
that-
there's similar players.
But that's I get that. that's why I think Westbrook is 3. It's just that athleticism and taking over a basketball game in a situation where you need him. Derrick Rose, you're down by 1 with 5 seconds. He's going to the bucket, and he doesn't care who's in the way. Russell Westbrook sees Nikola Jokic in the paint. He's getting a bucket. There's just no one stopping Russell Westbrook down 1 with 5 seconds.
Going back to that, I think Curry, Kyrie, Luka, and Dame could all do that with like.
So I didn't say they couldn't.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. But I think they do it better than him.
But I think if you need that final bucket,
come
if you
on.
need that final bucket,
Dude, no. Okay, let's set this up. 5 seconds. You got
Luka's
5
like
seconds on the
21
clock.
years old.
5
And he's
seconds
dominating.
on the clock, down 1. There's a 1-on-1 ISO left side of the court. You get to pick your point guard.
I'll walk off. I will walk off. Stop.
No, you're not.
Stop. I'll punch you right now. I'll punch you right now. If you tell me Westbrook, I'm looking at the camera. If you tell me you want Westbrook to take a game-winning shot, dude, you're crazy. That's like telling Bill Russell
to shoot.
It's
I
not-
don't want him to shoot.
I'm still taking Luka. He's 6'8".
No one's stopping a Westbrook drive to the rim, bro. I don't care who you are. You can be LeBron James, bro.
Okay.
No one is stopping him off the dribble.
Yeah, I tell you.
Right now, have you seen the Wizards? Dude, we're not arguing.
Yes, they're ninth in the West or East. I've
That's
seen
not the argument of the Wizards.
I know you, but you said
I'm going to act like there's not a point guard that's literally known for being one of the most clutch in the NBA for the past 5 or 6 years.
Dang.
Yeah, wave it goodbye.
Yeah.
That's what Paul George was doing.
you can't.
I'm not. I said down 1. I didn't say down 4. 5-point shot, half court.
that's where I think I take Russell
I said
over
down
Dame.
1.
That's where I think I take Russell over Dame, but I do not take Russell over Luka. I don't.
Dame.
So Luka, I'll give you the Dame debate before I give you Luka.
What?
Luka's not
Jeez.
athletic at all.
I think in terms of a one-on-one situation, I wouldn't take Luka because Luka, he can do it all, but I don't
Such
think
a good passer.
he's not the one you're going. I want you one-on-one ISO.
Yeah, but he can take you down in the post, or he's going to step back in your
Right.
mouth and shoot a 3, or he can drive to the
Russell
hoop. He's
dunking
really
on
good
his
around the
family.
rim.
Congrats. He can
Oh, you want to know who's better around the rim?
Yeah, getting blocked.
Russell Westbrook.
Dude,
right,
done.
okay,
One
no.
more. One more thing. Russell Westbrook probably shoots 28 times a game. That's facts.
This is the most of. Okay, well, the cops are calling, so we got to stop.
Westbrook.
Neighbors filed a voice
They're coming to get
Oh my
us.
God, they're talking about Westbrook.
Moving to the Jazz. That was such a heated debate. That was
I
not
love
where
it.
I thought that
I
was
love
going to be
it.
taking.
We'll be back episode 4.
Do the Jazz have
It's
enough?
just 3 people sitting at the table next episode. So what happened to
quit
CJ?
after
Oh
the
well,
Westbrook
he's
debate.
dead.
Blake's in a Russell jersey.
Do the Jazz have enough to really win in the East? They have the best record in the West. I'm sorry, I'm so pissed off.
He's
right
still thinking.
Yeah, I'm really mad. Do the Jazz have enough to win in the West? My answer is yes, because Donovan Mitchell's becoming a superstar. Rudy Gobert is one of the best centers in the league. Joe Ingles is really good. Bojan Bogdanovic is really good. George Niang's been playing great. I think that team is built to win in the playoffs. It's kind of like the Heat team from last year in the East. It's a team. It's not 2 guys. It's a really great basketball team. I think they can compete with the Lakers and win the West.
Surprised you didn't take Russell there.
I'm with you. I think the Jazz can. They play as a team. If they can stay healthy. I don't know if anybody's been hurt, but just throughout the playoffs or whatever, getting to them.
My adrenaline's pumping.
I'm just gonna go and start this off. I say probably not. I think they can, but I think it's slim. I think the West. Going back to what you said about the Heat. As much as I want to be an East bias here, the East has always been weaker than the West in the past 6-7 years. So I see competition being a little too tough. Even though they're a really good team, it's kind of almost like the Bucks. What was it, 2 years ago when they only lost like 15, 16 games?
What's the Jazz in right now? I don't know what
First.
They're in
Yeah, they're
first?
first.
Okay.
I just think
They went on
Record in the league.
They went on a crazy
there,
run.
I just think there's a little bit too much star power going down once you get down to maybe the conference finals or the.
Which, yeah.
I think
'Cause
Donovan Mitchell needs
That's
to be
why I think they can
recognized.
make it there. They can make it. They're in the number 1 spot.
I think
But
Denver.
Can they finish?
Denver's going to be going deep in the playoffs. This
That's
year.
who I
They're
have.
just-
That's
have
why I
Denver.
think that's where I think Jokic takes over. Jokic,
Yeah.
I think, is going to
I
really
think that's
take
why
over.
the Jazz matches up with everyone.
Yeah,
I
I think-
Gobert
oh,
is
yeah.
the best defensive center in the league. He can stop a guy like Jokic. Donovan Mitchell is a superstar now. He averages 27 a game. He can guard up on Jamal Murray.
I think
They have shooters on the wing.
I think they can. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, there's a lot to go through in the West. I'll give you that.
That's why I think they make it there.
No, I
And
think
the
their
number one
hardest
spot,
game or playoff series will definitely be Denver. I don't think it would be the Lakers if they ever see them. I just don't think it will.
Yeah, I like that discussion. Moving on from the NBA and all that debating, college football. It's coming faster than we think. It's going to be here soon after the summer. We posted our Dark Horse Heisman picks on Twitter, on Instagram. You can go check that out. But the incoming freshman with the most intense impact. Me and CJ had the first one. I switched. So this is my second option. I have Nyland Green, the cornerback, coming to Georgia. Georgia is losing a lot of guys in the secondary. Richard LeCount, Tyson Campbell, Mark Webb, DJ Daniel, Eric Stokes. Kirby Smart needs guys in the secondary. And this guy's a 8A Region 4 Player of the Year. He played wide receiver, corner. He's athletic. Super 11 selection in the preseason in Georgia. In Atlanta, by the way. It's a really good football city. I think he comes in, makes an impact, is a battle for that number one guy in Georgia. And CJ had my guy number one. So
I have Will Shipley, running back for Clemson. I just think with ETN being gone, they need somebody to step up and take his role, and I think it's him. I don't believe Lynn J. Dixon can do it. I just don't. Yeah. But in high school, he graduated early, but he only played 3 years. He had 4,000 rushing yards and then almost 1,500 receiving yards. And I think that's what they need there.
I think Will Shipley comes in and is Travis Etienne after Travis Etienne leaves.
They definitely need that another running back one to get the run game going again.
Yeah.
That's what helped Clemson.
For me, I got Ja'Cory Brooks going into Alabama, 5-star receiver. He's 6'3", 190.
They need some. They just lost 50.
Yeah.
Which I think Mechie becomes the number one receiver of that team.
Julio.
But I think there's nothing wrong with having another Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle combo, and I think those two could definitely be that with his speed and size. He's a guy that can get separation. I mean, he's a 5-star for a reason, so I have no reason why he couldn't.
Yeah. Josh, I know you're searching for one, but...
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's straight.
We go with Will Shipley.
I did have Will Shipley. I think he's been really good at Clemson, even though I'm a Carolina fan. The MLB. We got to watch opening day. It was great. Not for me. The Red Sox were 0-3 against the Orioles. But the MLB is back.
Braves and Red Sox have the same record, so we're good.
Throw the Yankees in there, too.
Yeah, we're all off to hot starts in the MLB. But this year's Fernando Tatis Jr. Last year, Fernando Tatis got off to a really hot start, and he was a young star. They got the cover of MLB. He was everything the MLB posted about. Who can be that guy this year? And I think the Rays coming off the big run that they had, I think Wander Franco is going to be really good at shortstop. He's a guy that can smash into left field. He's a really good fielder. He can hit to all areas of the ballpark. He's only 20 years old, and he's already starting for the Rays. I just think he comes in and he can be Tatis. He can have really good stats, maybe even be an MVP type guy for the Rays.
Me wanting to be biased, I want to say Christian Pache, but
I want to say Bobby Dalbec, but
yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna actually go with somebody different, a little bit of recency bias. I'm gonna go with Akil Badu, the Rule 5 draft selectee for the Detroit Tigers, who in his first pitch that he ever saw in the MLB hit a home run off Otako.
I saw that.
So,
I remember that.
I hope that he does good, and I hope he becomes a star in the league because I read up on him the other day, and I really like him. He seems like he's going to be really good in this league.
I think it's pronounced Yerman. Or
I know Yerman.
You say Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercedes. I don't know how you pronounce it, but his first game, MLB debut, he had 5 hits, 4 RBIs, and 1 run. And I think he's perfect right now. He's like 15 for 15 right now.
No, he went 0 for 2 yesterday.
He did?
Yeah,
all right.
he ruined it.
Never mind.
He ruined it.
But I think he has what it takes this year.
Did you have one?
No, I did not.
I was just really popping off.
We'll go with Mike Trout.
I thought the question was Tatis.
No.
I didn't read
stars.
in the script you wrote. I didn't know that Tatis.
That can
and
be
you had
one.
another question written right after.
Tell me of scripts, bro.
Oh, my God. Everybody flip to the next page.
Talking of young stars, Shohei Ohtani. He had a really good outing yesterday. Almost lost it for the Angels. I watched the middle of that game. Bases loaded, threw one away, wild pitch, but they ended up walking it off. He put it all together. Or can he put it all together and have an MVP year pitching and hitting? He's off to a really hot start with the first pitch slammed in the right field.
I say he started that game.
Yeah.
He started out. He struck out the side or something,
Yeah,
or sat him down.
Threw
Yeah.
the fastest pitch of the
Yeah.
season so
Oh yeah,
far.
threw 101
It was like-
mile an
Yeah,
hour
it was like
pitch.
101.
And then
fastest
comes
pitch,
and then
fastest-
comes in
yeah.
and bombs one.
Yeah, I turned the game on, and literally, I just watched him just take the skin off the ball at the plate.
slider.
I mean, he just rocked that ball.
Dude, pitching, dude. The slider's dirty, split
Yes.
finger.
I think if-
he can do it.
Yeah, I think if he can get his control like a little bit better, then he'll be straight.
But before you say it, Billy, I think the biggest problem with Shohei is usage and injuries. I think he might get used a little too much. He's gonna have to sit a lot more games than other pitchers.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's gonna have to recover a lot more.
And he's gonna have to really hope he doesn't get hurt.
Well, I mean, I was honestly going to agree with you. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think it won't be this year. It won't be next year. I think he'll be, as long as he can stay healthy.
I think
It'll be
talent's
about-
not the question. We all know
Yeah,
he's very talented. It's just with that being how you're going to play him is how much is he
Which
gonna
that's the
be
thing
used.
you see with a lot of these Japanese players coming from overseas is they regarded as stars and then they come over and it's
Yeah, is he going to
honestly
hit on every
50-50.
off night or?
Or he can be Ichiro.
Which I like if I was like a coach or something, like I would throw him out in the field and like, cause like sometimes you're like, man, I want this dude to hit 5-6 times a game because this dude can swing the baseball bat. But at the
Well, that's
same
what I was
time,
going to ask.
he's an ace.
Is he going to hit when he doesn't pitch? Is he going to be a general guy? In
Which
the
I know he struggles
lineup?
in the field and stuff like that, but
it's,
it's iffy.
he's been hurt so much.
Yeah, I know.
I
We
think
haven't
that's
really
the
got
that's why
a
it's so iffy.
consistent
usage
feel
and
of it.
injuries. I think that's the biggest question there. Which team scares the Dodgers the most in the NL? I think the Dodgers are a really good baseball team. I think the Padres are a really good baseball team too. I think that starting rotation is going to pick up and get going. I think Tatis is going to get going here soon. I think the Padres are obviously the team that puts the most fear into the Dodgers.
I definitely think Padres is definitely the team.
Let me go before
to
Billy
beat.
goes. I have the
Dodgers.
Padres, but I also have the Braves because the Braves when they get the bats rolling, it's scary. It really is.
I really want to say the Braves and I really want to say the Padres, but I think I'm going to give the edge to the Padres just because, I mean, you got Snell,
That
you
pitching
got
really
Darvish,
is-
you
yeah,
got
that's-
Clevenger.
That's what's going to win you the
You got
World Series
Danielson
pitching.
Lamet. You have it all, and now it's just a matter of can they put up the runs to keep up with the Dodgers because pitcher's just a pitcher at the end of the day. I mean, they can only do so much, and they'll have a bad game. Can they? When it's Game 7 and that pitcher, Darvish gets rocked for 4 or 5 runs and is pulled in the 4th, do you have the bullpen and the hitting to keep up with it? And with the Braves, I think it just comes down to. I know they can do it.
They got to put it together.
But they got the
Yeah.
lineup.
They got the lineup.
I think the MLB teams that started off slow are going to pick up. I think the Red Sox are going to pick up. The rotation got off to a rocky start with Erod not being able to go Game 1. I think teams like that are going to be able to pick it up as we get along.
2 years ago today, the Braves went to Philadelphia, got swept,
Yeah.
and ended up winning the series.
Yeah, Billy, I don't really know that feeling. That's the worst start the Red Sox have had a feeling since 1948, so I don't really know how you feel.
Oh, real quick sidebar. Where's is Chris Sale back fully healthy and ready
No.
to go?
Has not pitched a game. I don't think he's going to pitch for a while. I know his shoulder's still messing with him. But moving on to discussion topics, I know I didn't tell y'all. I told CJ one of them.
Wow.
But topics that I've seen on Twitter, big debates that I've seen that I wanted us to be a part of. And the first thing is running backs in the NFL. How expendable are they? I'm going to start off with I think it's the most expendable position in the NFL. Barring generation guys, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Saquon, Dalvin Cook. Like those guys, like you're going to give them maxes and they're going to run.
The winning games.
But we also saw the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey did his SL. Mike Davis steps in, does what he does best. Does what Saquon or what Christian did in his absence. I think those are guys that you can take in the 5th, 6th round, undrafted. They can come in and be just as good as Nick Chubb, just as good as Kareem Hunt, just as good as those guys. That's why I think they're very, very expendable, and you can replace them, and you don't have to waste money on running backs.
Because especially running back, there's not. I don't think maybe quarterback, but no other position that really is based off another position, which is O-line.
Yeah.
One thing that helps out running back the most is having an O-line.
Yeah.
The best way for me to put it is I used to have a coach that would say the backfield doesn't make the O-line. The O-line makes the backfield. And I think that's the reason you saw – I love Ezekiel Elliott. But when they had 4 of their 5 offensive linemen were Pro Bowlers, and Zeke rushed for 2,000 yards his rookie year, I mean, without that O-line, you go put them in.
That's also an argument I had with CJ when we were in the car. I was like, teams that we all see these running backs get taken in the first round. Build your O-line first.
Exactly.
Running back can be taken. The Panthers made a really good selection with Christian McCaffrey, but they had their O-line built from the Super Bowl. They had young guys that they drafted later in that draft at tackle with Taylor Moton. I think unless it's just a guy you can't pass on, you have to build your O-line first, and you can pick up a running back off the street and it'd be just as good as a safety.
That's why, going back to the mock draft, I think, especially Falcons, that's why I think they build the O-line, because you still got Matt Ryan. And then I think you go quarterback next year if you want to go quarterback, because then you're going to have that O-line there.
Like Najee Harris would be the only guy in this draft I take first round.
Running back, especially running back.
He's a Derrick Henry type guy.
Yeah, but I would go, like, you have to have an O-line, but, like, once you get one, you ain't got to get a Pro Bowl running back right away.
Yeah.
You can go, like,
get a 1,000-yard
I'm a Bills
rusher.
fan. I'm not high on Devin Singletary no more, but he's got great vision, and you can put him behind, like, the Cowboys O-line, and he's going to be great. He's going to be a great running back.
Singletary, he's slow, but he's very elusive. He's very elusive.
Cowboys O-line. They're not good.
I think the point where if you get a running back that can play with a below average O-line, not to be biased, but I think the one, like, an exception, like you said, generational talent.
Yeah.
I go back and I think of when I'm a Dolphins fan, Jay Ajayi. Man had a bottom third offensive line and had 3 straight weeks with 200 rushing yards.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. I watched that game. I
Now
just
he
couldn't
games
tackle him.
Had like
the
12
UK.
broken tackles in one game.
Now he does FIFA leagues.
Going back to what you said
Pogs.
Najee Harris is the only running back you see going first
That's only
round.
generation.
But I think, especially Bills. See, I think if there is a second running back, it's ETN and it's to Buffalo.
Yes.
Only because
Have to.
Buffalo, one thing that they wanted to fix in the offseason was run game. And then, they had a bad edge rush, but you got to think, AJ Epinesa didn't have OTAs. He didn't have a preseason. Nobody really, truly got to see him last year.
And
so I think we're expecting him to
That's
come
why I
in.
said if Najee's off the board.
When he played, too, he was in the backfield probably 99% of the time.
So I think if a second running back is taken, it's Travis Etienne.
Since we're sidebarring really hard, I just want to throw this in there. I think Najee's, like you said, clear first. But I don't think the gap between second and third best running back in this class is that big.
Who's at third?
I have Javonte Williams, North Carolina.
Have you heard of the guy named Chuba Hubbard that should have won Heisman?
I like Chuba, but
Trey Sermon in the 4th round.
Don't North Carolina have another really good running back, too,
Yeah, they have
coming in?
2 really good running
There's
backs.
so many good running backs in this
But
draft.
I like Javonte Williams. So I
Trey
think
Sermon torched Clemson.
But when I go NFL running back, go watch Javonte Williams. I promise
Trey
you.
Sermon's like 6'3".
I love Trey Sermon?
Yeah.
I love Trey Sermon too, don't get me wrong. But when I think
That's the argument. There's so many.
Williams is the one that
You
compared
don't
to
have
Nick
to
Chubb,
take
isn't it?
one.
Williams is the one that compared to Nick Chubb, right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like, you
that
can
was
take
the
Trey Sermon
argument,
late
though.
4th, 5th round.
You
He's
don't
not
have to
going
take one.
top 3 rounds.
Why would you
no
waste
way.
a pick in the second
Yeah.
round on a running
Oh,
back?
I know
you
that's what
don't.
I'm
I don't
getting,
think you don't chase for someone like that.
Yeah, when
No.
you can have Trey Sermon in the 5th.
I agree, but I'm not saying you take either one of those guys in the first round.
No.
Yeah, unless it's just a guy you fall in love with. Like, it's a guy that's like, oh, he's meant to be here.
If someone, it's like it's a team that's like got an O-line, all right, he's gonna be our
I
offense.
like that guy.
Which it goes like with teams like, do we want like a Derrick Henry that's not Derrick Henry's
Yeah.
quick, but I'm talking about like a speed back or something
Yeah.
like Christian McCaffrey.
Me and CJ also had
something
that
like that.
conversation earlier, like the Chiefs. That's why Le'Veon didn't work. He's not a guy built for that. Damon Williams is a guy built for that.
Clyde Edwards. Clyde Edwards is really
Yeah,
good for
Clyde
that
Edwards.
system. Really
Yeah.
good.
And that's like our buddy KJ. He wants the Steelers to get Najee so bad because
But they're not built for that type
Yeah.
of running back.
I think you stick it out with Buddy Snell for
Benny
now.
Snell.
Benny? Did I say Buddy?
It's a matter of like if you have a team like and I guess Najee, I guess he could fit in any system because he can run off edge. He can receive the ball better than any running back in the class. I mean, he can.
He's very versatile.
Does he fall that far? Because what do they got? 29th
Yes.
pick.
Unless somebody
I think.
I don't know.
I think honestly,
Najee could get stolen top 15.
yeah. I think if Kyle Trask or Matt Jones is there, that's who they're taking.
Yeah. Moving on to a topic that I saw on Twitter. I even responded to it on my main Twitter. It was one of the coldest takes I've ever seen. It was Skip Bayless saying, "Oh my gosh, that's such a lucky shot by Jalen Suggs. That's all luck. Gonzaga wins off of luck." Mark Few in the post-conference of the basketball game says, "We run game winners every day, and guess what? Jalen Suggs sinks it every single time." So my question is, Jalen Suggs shot, luck or skill? I obviously think it's skill. He's the best college basketball player right now, and it's not close. I don't think Cade Cunningham's that good of a shooter. Jalen Suggs pulled that like he's did it every day for his whole life and stood on top of a table with cardboard fans and screamed at him. I mean, it was literally meant for Jalen Suggs to hit that shot.
Oh, it's definitely skill. I mean, it's when you go through your locker room at any level in basketball, you go, that's the guy I want taking my shot.
Yeah, it's not that it was not even that it's like not looked. It's like that's the guy that was supposed to.
It's
hit
definitely
that shot.
it's skill. But I think where people are getting the lucky part was he banked it. Which I'm not arguing that. Yeah, I think it's skill. But if someone's tweeting out
like
saying
luck,
like
Jenkins wasn't meant to hit that shot. Like, yeah, I know they ran that play in practice or whatever for him, but like he wasn't meant to take that shot. Like that's not their best
like you said,
shooter. Jalen Suggs is the best player on the court.
But like you said, they ran it in practice, so he shot that shot so many times. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
so it's like he knows where to put it. If he wanted to make it, he knows. Oh, I can put this much power. Oh, it's mine.
Right, for all the
center pulling from half court and he drilled it.
Yeah, that's luck.
Exactly, but it's
Jalen
freaking
Suggs.
Suggs.
when like LeBron hit that bank against the Wizards when he was in Cleveland, like
if
it's
you
luck.
tell me Jakeem Noah's
that fadeaway three?
That's luck.
It's just like that's.
I was just saying that's basically what you're saying. It's like
exactly.
Yeah, I like that. It's been a very exciting, heated discussion today. Of course, as I said before, you can watch us on YouTube. We're on Apple Music now, or Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Our Buzzsprout link is in our bio. We've been posting on TikTok, CBJ Sports, Instagram, Twitter. Respond to us. Show us love, everything. That's going to wrap up CBJ Sports episode number 3. It's been fun, guys. We'll see you. Deuces.